There's a quiet crisis in sales organizations everywhere. It's the crisis of the gut feeling. We've been told for decades that sales is an art, a matter of intuition and relationship building. But what if that reliance on subjective judgment is the very thing holding back your revenue growth and forecast accuracy? Today, we're going to challenge that notion. We'll explore why prioritizing leads is so fundamentally broken, and I'll show you a scientific method powered by our software PredictConversion to bring objective, quantifiable forecasting to every single prospect in your pipeline. You'll learn how to move from guessing to knowing. Let's start with context. The sales industry is built on a foundation of uncertainty. At quarantadue.ai, every MCP workflow starts from the real tool interface, not from a generic prompt. The goal is simple. Keep the expert in control while the system structures the evidence. Inputs, reasoning, and outputs stay connected in one reviewable flow. Now the results become easier to compare, easier to review, and easier to explain. Why does this problem persist? Because traditional tools, even advanced CRMs, are built for tracking, not for true prediction. They capture data, but they don't interpret it to give you a forward-looking individual forecast. Basic lead scoring is a static point system. It doesn't tell you when a lead will convert, or even if they will with a high degree of certainty. It just ranks them. This leads to real challenges. Sales reps chasing the loudest lead, not the most likely. Revenue forecasts that are political exercises, not mathematical ones. Managers struggling to coach because there's no objective baseline for a lead's potential. The result is misallocated effort, inconsistent follow-up, and longer sales cycles. Generic tools fail because they treat all data points equally and lack the analytical engine to synthesize them into a dynamic probability. This is where we need to shift to a technical, methodological approach. The core concept is multi-factor weighted analysis. Think of it like a medical diagnosis. A doctor doesn't look at just your temperature. They look at blood pressure, symptoms, history, and lab results, each with a different weight of importance. PredictConversion does the same for a sales lead. It doesn't just count activities. It analyzes a constellation of factors: firmographic data, engagement intensity and recency, stage duration, competitive signals, even external market data. Each factor is assigned a dynamic weight based on its historical correlation to conversion in your specific business. The key concept to understand is that this is not a simple score. It's a constantly updating probability curve that projects a likelihood and a probable conversion window. A common misconception is that this is just fancy automation. It's not. It's a decision support system that provides an objective baseline, removing personal bias from the initial assessment of a lead's potential. So, what does PredictConversion specifically do? First, it ingests data from your CRM, marketing automation, email, calendars, and can even connect to external data sources. It establishes a historical baseline by analyzing your past won and lost deals to understand what patterns actually led to success in your unique environment. Then, for every active lead, it performs a real-time calculation. It compares the lead's current profile and behavior against that historical model, weighing each factor appropriately, and outputs two critical numbers: a percentage probability of conversion and a projected time frame, like a 70% chance to close within the next 45 days. Every calculation is backed by a clear audit trail. You can click into any forecast and see exactly which factors contributed to the score and how much they weighed. This is crucial for compliance and coaching. Furthermore, the tool allows for scenario modeling. What if we increase engagement by 20%? What if we extend the trial? You can adjust variables and see how the forecast changes, enabling strategic planning. Let me walk you through a hypothetical example. Imagine a lead, a mid-sized tech company. They downloaded a white paper 60 days ago, but in the past week, they've had 3 key stakeholders attend a demo. They've visited our pricing page multiple times, and we've identified they are in an active evaluation period with a competitor expiring soon. PredictConversion ingests these signals. The initial download has a low weight because it's old. The recent demo attendance and page views have high positive weights. The competitive signal is a massive positive indicator based on our historical model. The software synthesizes this, perhaps calculating an 85% conversion probability with a 30-day window. The measurable outcome is clear. This lead moves to the top of the priority list for immediate, focused follow-up from an account executive, while a lead with only passive activity is automatically scheduled for a nurture track. When it comes to compliance and reporting, PredictConversion generates clear, stakeholder-readable reports. The audit trail I mentioned ensures every forecast is explainable, which is vital for regulatory alignment in many industries. Reports can show forecast accuracy over time, pipeline coverage based on probability thresholds, and even rep performance against objective benchmarks. The reports aren't just for sales managers. They provide finance with a data-driven revenue forecast and give leadership a transparent view of pipeline health, all speaking the same language of calculated probability. To summarize, PredictConversion replaces subjective guesswork with objective, weighted analysis. It gives your team the power to know which leads to focus on and when, turning your pipeline from a source of anxiety into a predictable engine for growth. It provides transparency, enables strategic scenario planning, and aligns your entire organization. If you're ready to bring scientific precision to your sales process,